Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to see about cognitive radio in wireless networks. Cognitive radio is one of the 4G technology. First, we want to know what's the need of cognitive radio. The first one, the cognitive radio is not only a radio technology, it also includes a revolutionary change in how the spectrum is regulated. Next, the cognitive radio and the 4G technologies are two complementary developments that will reframe the world of wireless communications. Finally, the 4G networks employing cognitive radios are a solution that revolutionizes the telecommunication industry, significantly changing the way we design our wireless systems and services. Cognitive radio was first proposed by the Swedish researcher Joseph Mitola in a seminar at KTH Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm in 1998, and they published in an article by Mitola and Gerland Q. McHugh in 1999. Benefits of cognitive radio. It introducing new communications and networking models for the whole wireless world and creating better business opportunities for the incumbent operator and offering new technical dimensions for smaller operators, helping shape an overall more efficient approach regarding spectrum requirements, and it contributes the more usage in the next generation wireless networks. Next, the concept of cognitive radio. Cognitive radio is a goal-driven framework. The radio autonomously observes the radio environment, infers context, assesses alternatives, generates plans, supervises multimedia services, and finally learns from its mistakes. Cognitive radio technology thus empowers radios to observe more flexible radios than was possible in the past. The concept of cognitive radio is shown in figure. Here, the radio autonomously observes the radio environment, decides the best known waveform, and allocate the resources and initiate the process of transmission. Next, we'll see the definition of cognitive radio given by FCC, that is Federal Communications Commissions. A radio that can change its transmitter parameters based on interaction with the environment in which it operates. Based on this definition, there are two main features that can be obtained. The first one is cognitive capability, and the second one is reconfigurability. Let us see cognitive capability. It is the capability of the system to detect the existence of the information from the surrounding environment of the radio. This capability has advanced techniques of sensing and the ability to capture the different variations of that environment without the intrusion with other users except checking the power of frequency band. In cognitive capability, the suitable spectrum and operating parameters are being selected according to the previous identification of the unused parts of the spectrum at a certain period of time and place. Next one, reconfigurability. For this property, the system has the ability to be programmed according to the radio environment rather than the spectrum attentiveness in the cognitive capability property. This program can allow the radio to receive and transmit a wide range of frequency using different transmission techniques. It can sense a spectrum of wide range of frequencies and make some communication links. Generally, There are two users in the cognitive radio networks. The first one is primary user and the second one is secondary user. The primary user uses the channel of the transmission and the secondary user tries to be in the channel in taking advantage of opportunities when it is not used by the primary user. So the secondary user tries to find an empty space in the transmission channel and to remove the channel when the primary user starts to use the channel again. When the secondary user starts to transmit in the channel of primary user, then some delay is occurred in the arrival of information. Next, SDR, that means software defined radio. It was introduced for handling more than one communication technology such that the terminals can change their operation with respect to the software. SDR is a radio communication system which uses software for the modulation and demodulation of radio signals. Next, goal of SDR, a radio that can receive and transmit a new form of radio protocol just by running a new software. So, it is the goal of SDR. Next, we see the relationship between SDR and cognitive radio. The figure shows the relationship between SDR and CR. Here, the SDR uses some digital techniques for radio signals and performs signal processing on radio signals by using softwares with respect to the applications. Next, the uses of cognitive radio. First one, spectrum sensing. It means to determine which portions of spectrum are available and detect the presence of licensed users when a user operates in a licensed band. The second one is spectrum management. It is used to select the best available channels. Third one is spectrum sharing. It coordinates access to this channel with other users. The last one is spectrum mobility. To vacate the channel when the licensed user is detected. So these are the uses of cognitive radio. Next one, advantages. Cognitive radio has more number of advantages in the 4G technologies. Efficiency of spectrum is high and high bandwidth services, graceful degradation of services, quality of service improvement, benefits to the service provider, common hardware platform, benefits to the licensee, and finally, emergency communication services. Next, the applications of cognitive radio. The first one is future internet services. The upcoming internet services supporting wide band, high data rates, and quality of services guarantee for various multimedia and other applications. The second one is multimedia downloads in mobile to download music, video, and other files in portable player, and it requires moderate data rates and good coverage. The third one is communication during emergency services. So we require localized coverage and moderate data rates at the time of emergency for communications. That means military, surveillance, fire, police, and ambulance services. Finally, wireless multimedia services for audio and video distribution using wireless system requires higher data rates. So these are the applications of cognitive radio.